I'm Eric Hyden.
I'm Nick Mason.
And this is Neon Static. Welcome to Game 5 of the September 30th, 2023 GNK at Somerville, Mass. This is...
Timely as always.
Just right on the heels of the event.
Real up-to-date meta check here.
At least this is on the heels of the last release of this. So anyway, we have Sunny on Essa, as you can see, and Kevin on Teia. A pretty fun matchup, I think, because Teia can get pretty glaciery, but also can move fast, and Essa can maybe disrupt some of that.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Essa wants to, obviously, I feel like anyway, is a pretty go-fast deck. And then Teia can counter that a little bit just by getting its remotes set up a little bit quicker than it could otherwise with that nice click compression.
Right. But if Kevin is going to be rushing remotes, then he's going to be leaving central servers a little exposed to some nasty effects. Ideally, you want to see some HQ ice here. There we go. That's good to prevent Shatuskas in turn one. I think that's kind of just like if you're playing Essa, do that move and getting some value out of Teia to do a double install. What do you think that exposed asset or upgrade or agenda is?
I mean, presumably it's like a Spin Doctor or something low value like that. Could be something. I mean, you could try to like sneak out a like a Rashida or something like that.
Right.
You know, depending on what you have in hand, maybe you dump one Rashida, see if it taxes the runner a click and a credit just to go get it. And, it literally didn't cost you a click. So
right. I feel like the Spin Doctors, though, are higher value in this matchup than most other cards because they're going to protect those sabotages. So putting one out early, which it is, a Spin Doctor.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But it's timing, whether you are able to keep the Spin Doctor in hand long enough to make it worthwhile when the sabotages start to show up,
Well, that's here. Sunny playing a Marrow, triggering Essa to sabotage 2.
Goodbye Ghost Tongue, which is, I would assume, a pretty big negative.
I would want the Ghost Tongue first, I think. But, if
depends
you
on
can't find
the rest of the hand. I mean, if there's another Ghost Tongue in there, obviously, then
Yep.
He's all right. But
Kevin on a healthy 9 credits, so Anansi's are live in this deck.
Yeah, some scary ice.
What kind of ice is there? I mean, Vamp Renosa. I immediately want to say Jazzy Renosa.
The only true version.
My little altar. That's kind of an in joke to listeners. Okay, so Kevin now needing to wants to button up the rest of Centrals probably and start putting cards in server to move things along.
Yep. So the Teia trigger, that's interesting. Building out ice on both remotes. So normally the way that I would think of using Teia is like you've got one like throwaway remote with, you're dumping some of those movable syshops and things like that so that you can get the value of stacking your ice super deep on your scoring remote.
Right. Yeah, Kevin opting to do the install ice and then tuck something away underneath there.
Yeah.
I mean, so one of those cards is likely a Rashida or like a Regolith, and the other might be an agenda or an upgrade.
Right.
That's my instinct, but it's hard to tell. Face down cards are hard to read.
That is true. I do see another Ghost Tongue in hand for Sunny, so he's not crying too much that he lost the. We
get to see that's a virus and a vulnerability audit.
Ooh,
that's a spicy. That's the 4/3 that has no other text and it costs an influence to include in the deck too.
Right.
Other than being a 4/3.
Well,
no, you can't score it. You can't score it on the turn you install
the same
it.
turn, right?
Right. Which is perfect.
The normal idea with Teia is to use your triggers to install it on your opponent's turn with the ID, and then
if possible.
Yes, and then score it out that way.
So this is interesting. Sonny playing a Hush down on the HQ ice, which we can only assume is like Anansi insurance, basically.
Yeah.
So ideally here you want to face check, and we see it. Raindrops.
Yep.
Not sure what cards in hand would be left here. It looks like Sonny has at least 2 cards in hand. And is Kevin going to res this ice? No. No res. Nice acrylic Teia alt art for the HQ. Really like that on Kevin's side.
That must have been a quick turnaround from the release to acrylic.
Yeah, I think that was
what, July when it came out?
I believe that was a potentially a New England Nationals, the Philly Nationals.
There you go.
I think someone might have had it there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we saw the Anansi in hand, so Sonny found it, just not on the server. And seeing the running hot.
Interesting. So
I want it to be the ghost tongue
in hand. Oh.
Dodging. So that was bold. That other card, there's 2 other cards, I guess, and one is a ghost tongue.
I mean,
3 cards. Ghost tongue,
that's scary.
Botulus, and a second steel skin. So the odds were 50-50 for Sonny there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I almost would want the ghost tongue there. I mean, yeah, the running hot, though, is so high value, but I don't know that, like, are you going to install the ghost tongue this turn and take another and not get your ESA trigger? And, like, that's such a weird place for it to be, you know?
Yeah, the economy would be good. Kevin's showing us that there are agendas in archives, and we know there's no spin doctor on the table.
Top card is being read, so it can't be that Adrian.
It's an Adrian Seiss.
Yep. Gets trashed, which makes sense.
And then checking open R&D here. Oop, finding an off-field office.
And then what was that? I didn't see the...
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, fair enough.
The sideways glances of cards. Okay, so Kevin has the money, could score that. No, can't score the vulnerability. Right? It's a 4-3, right?
Unless there's like a seamless or something in hand, but...
Right. Okay, buttoning up HQ a little better.
Yeah, but with R&D wide open?
No.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Yeah. So I think that was draw, install.
Looks like it.
Yep.
So no Teia trigger there. No advancement on that 4-3.
Right. No, nothing. Yeah, nothing there to help. But you'd think that 1 advance would be nice. But
right. And it might bait Sonny into running there, but at the same time, giving the signal that there's an agenda there when he already has 2 points on the board is, iffy.
This is nice. So the ghost tongue and the steel skin being the only card in hand, no, you're going to hit it.
Yep.
2 more.
Pretty good value.
Still no spin doctor. We saw an NGO and an unseen there.
So that's interesting. Kevin just going straight from the top for those 2. Must have something good in hand.
Yeah.
Like a seamless or something to score that 4-3 would be pretty big.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the common... Well, actually, it's hard to tell. This was so long ago, I'm not sure what the meta was for a Teia and if Kevin was on... I think this might be a Glacial Teia. I could be wrong about that. We'll have the deck lists in the show notes. I can get my hands on those. So
I know I have played a Glacial Teia a couple times, and I do not recall ever playing a vulnerability audit. So
okay.
Like that deck seemed to rely less on the install on your opponent's turn kind of tricks. I believe the ones that did vulnerability audit and timely public release and things like that are more about like a fast advance style where you're, using those Teia triggers to cheat out your 4-3s and things like that.
Right. Sonny showed us, we saw, I caught a reprise and pinhole threading in hand there. Not sure what the third was. Yeah.
That could
Reprise
be brutal.
Essa.
That
That's kind of neat
sense, right?
Yeah,
because,
if you
you're
go check
dumping so
archives.
much stuff into archives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
You bounce a card and go get it. All right, so here we go. Something in the server, a Teia trigger to get something else. I think maybe some card draw before that.
Sonny is broke.
Yeah, Sonny's got 1 credit. I mean, kind of 2 because the ghost tongue's out.
True.
Estabrado, not a reprise.
Ah, okay.
Or another running hot pinhole. The Bonhar? I think I saw Bonhar. Click 2. Drawing up again.
Bonhar a little lower value in a matchup where you expect to see a bunch of Anansis and know there's at least one on the table that isn't hushed. You really don't want to hit that.
Yeah, but you can always just have 4 cards in hand and check it first before you Bonhar it.
That's true.
And then you're costing, you don't want to face check an Anansi, but it won't kill you if you know it. It'll cost the corp a lot of money. So there's the Bonhar. Next turn, that'll be live. Okay, Kevin resing a La Costa grid for 3, getting the advancement counter on.
So that, yep. The vulnerability audit is live.
Cursory
Just
check on the
advance.
mandatory draw, and then, tripling advance. Okay. Down to 3 credits.
That's poor given the ice suite that we expect. I mean, the only one we know of is Anansi, right? So
yeah, Sonny remembering to trigger the Marrow Sabotage, which is points, hats off to Sonny there.
Yeah. Yeah, I never remember that text. I only think of it as a hand size increaser.
Yeah.
But like right now, HQ's kind of open, right? We would think based on what we saw in the hand earlier when HQ got checked that outer ice is a Nancy. The inner ice didn't get rezzed when Kevin had a lot more money. So it's probably not like HQ to me feels like something you can just attack. Same thing for R&D with 3. Well, no, just in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know that Kevin is going to res anything on an HQ run because if we assume the outer one is the Anansi that we saw in hand earlier and the inner one didn't get resed on a prior run.
Right.
You
could probably go try and
what's he
check
going to do? Yeah, with 3 credits.
Running R&D because the Botulus is there, I guess.
Yep.
That would handle an Anansi res, although obviously Kevin can't manage that right now. Seeing a Seamless.
Okay. And checking that earlier makes sense because if you do trash something and you want to run back to keep the R&D lock on, get that information first.
Right. So now
before you go checking the hand.
There is an unknown in the server Kevin just checked. Which
right.
I just feel like every time you're playing Essa and doing a lot of sabotage, you got to be thinking, could there be a new Spin Doctor out? And that could be one. And Kevin just checking the face-ups in archives right here. So I kind of think that my priority is going to check the newly installed card, although he doesn't know either card in that server.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, that could be another La Costa setup or something, but then Kevin needs money. Like what's the worry there?
Spin Doctor.
True.
Go find a Spin Doctor or check. Okay. Pinhole for free off of the Ghost Tongue. Running archives. Yep. And going to check one of these cards.
Now, this is only going to get you half, though.
Yeah, okay. And then here, Sonny actually asked him to rewind because he miscalculated on credits, I think.
Ah, okay. Is he expecting to find a Rashida or something? Or
something that he wanted money to trash, I guess. But at least you have the knowledge. And instead playing the running hot. And I believe, if I recall from the edit, that he says, this is going to mess with my odds, but we'll try this. I believe he's worried about the pinhole getting trashed. Oh. And it gets hit. Yeah. He knew this was a possibility. 1 and 4.
Yeah.
But sabotaging 2 off the top, Rashida and a seamless. Not bad
I mean,
hits.
just getting rid of the seamless is not bad, given that you don't know what is face down there.
Right.
So
no
that
more
said, I
pinhole.
would. Yeah, I wouldn't feel terrible about just running the remote again with the Corp
3
on
credits.
3.
Right.
Yeah.
3 credits. What's going to happen? It can't be a Seisenton.
So that was a Vampy on top.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what the 3 credit threat is here. Like an Enigma.
Anemone, but even that you survive with 4 cards in hand. So,
right. You'd be happy to have them res in an Anemone.
Exactly.
Right now. Timely public release.
Okay.
Sunny
4
on
to
4.
3. So we know it's not a spin doctor.
Right.
Which actually makes me want to check it even more now because...
Yeah, is that an agenda?
Right, isn't it agenda? Right, there is an upgrade there.
Rashida could be Rashida.
Worth. Yeah, and a Rashida when...
No, we would have seen the Rashida already.
Would we?
I think that card got installed in tandem with the La Costa. Yeah, they got installed at the same time. So,
yeah, but why would that...
Because in the turn...
I see. Yeah, it would have already triggered. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So probably not a Rashida.
Well, you could just be playing like me and forgetting what you have on the board.
It's true. That is...
You leave a Rashida sitting for a turn or two.
Yeah. You can intentionally do that. I feel like unless Kevin was looking at discarding down, you probably never do.
Yeah, no, that doesn't seem correct. I mean, especially playing against a sabotage deck, just having more cards in hand so that you can control more what's going into the bin is huge.
Unless that was a play error on Kevin because he got too excited about the La Costa score. It's probably not a Rashida.
Yeah, no,
I think it smells like regolith to me. But that's just...
Yeah, 2 money left over. Or 3 money left over, rather, to res it, and then you can like triple click it, and now you have enough money to threaten all of your big scary ice again.
Yeah, that would be a great bounce back card.
Yeah. Especially if you knew you were installing the La Costa, and so that was going to be 6 credits down to score out that 4-3. Like, yeah, I could see that for sure.
This is still Sonny's turn. This is this is still the pinhole threading running hot attempted turn.
Well, look, running hot makes things difficult.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
There's so much going on.
Okay, there's a regular.
There's interesting.
Sonny cannot trash
unable
that.
to trash. Yeah.
That's tough. Would you? Oh, it is a Rashida. Okay.
Huh.
You got us, Kevin. I don't know. Maybe was that a miss? I feel like that might have been a missed trigger. Hard to say.
Might have been.
Hard to say.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, right? Because Kevin would have been drawing that turn to 3, I want to say. Like it could have done it could have forced another discard, which I guess against the sabotage deck is meaningful, but I'd still want more cards in hand immediately, especially the money too. I mean, you were so broke that turn, unable to res any of the scary ice.
That was great. Rashida brought Kevin back up into hedge fund territory and then probably drawing into it, or potentially. Yeah. And La Costa there, a non-optional must advance a card in this server trigger. So you can place an advancement counter on La Costa Grid.
Oh, that's interesting. Even though it can't be advanced, but it can have advancement counters put on it. So that's like Trick of Light stuff.
Yep. It just says place one on here. So
they're an Teia trigger for the cheaper ice. So we are establishing which one of these is the scoring remote.
Okay, so now
it was hedge fund 2 installs, 3 installs technically with the Teia trigger.
We have to assume that's the regolith in the other server. Which, we know...
The Mavirus server, you mean? Yeah.
Yes, Mavirus, regolith.
Yep.
And... because that just makes sense to put there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that you put...
so Sonny
something
missing
that
the...
you just drew, but...
Sonny's missing the Bonhard trigger here. Start of turn Botulus, now making a run. Kevin not really seeing the value in resing whatever the Botulus is covering up, and we're seeing a Daruma.
Aha. Yep. Yeah. So that's one of the cards that can allow you to do the Teia tricky nonsense on the opponent's turn.
And Sonny's not into it. Goes down to 0. I question this trash. I don't know that is a good. And okay, so this is also Kevin being nice, letting Sonny put the Bonhar on HQ after running. It's a GNK, but
sure,
I might kind of go, you missed the trigger, and you gain information.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not to be too critical of Sonny. Sorry, Sonny, if you're watching. Running back, did you see what was on the top? I missed it.
I did not know. I was thinking about that Bonhar. Mm-hmm. Really what I was thinking about is that the first time that anyone has ever paid money to trash Daruma? But
I don't think so.
I know. It's just like not the most threatening card in the world.
It isn't. So LaCosta is going to go off again here, and that card in server did get advanced.
Okay.
And we see another triple advance. Off-world. That's pretty good.
Yep. Man.
Bringing Kevin to 14 credits.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to get into that server.
Right.
I don't think you can just let stuff tick there.
So I think you have to run it now. And if there's an Anansi there, great. You're going to force Kevin to spend some money.
Yep.
Maybe put Bonhar somewhere else, because you don't want to run into it.
R&D.
Yeah. So Bonhar's on HQ.
No, you definitely don't want to. Oh, HQ. Yes.
I believe Sonny missed the
Botulus.
The marrow trigger this time.
Ah, yes. Yep.
It's such an easy card to forget.
I think the Botulus should be at 5 though, but I mean, not that matters at the moment for this present turn, but in the future, counters are good.
Sonny realizing that he's kind of in trouble here.
Yeah.
There's the Botulus tick.
Okay.
Catching Botulus. Yeah, I think Sonny's definitely going to be thinking about this turn here. First click. I mean, there's no immediate threat right now, unless Kevin's being cheeky and has put, another agenda in that first remote.
Right.
Really getting focused on R&D here just because of that Botulus value.
I guess.
But I feel like Sonny's spending probably a lot of time checking R&D for singles.
Yeah, not the most value out of each run.
Right.
Spin Doctor. You can't trash it. Ugh.
Imagine if that's so bad. You really want 2 credits, I think, to be able to trash the top Spin Doctors.
Now, there is an overclock in hand. You can't run back, right?
Sure you can. I mean, Ghost
I mean, you can. I know that, but are you ever going to play a card just to run back and trash a Spin Doctor? A high value card like an overclock?
I think so. I think that Sonny's main out here is sabotage to find another 2 agendas. Okay, so Kevin there,
sabotaging off the top.
Off the top of R&D, looking at the card and then sabotaging one out of HQ.
Not how sabotage works.
Not on the up and up, but I obviously not intentional on Kevin's part. He's a very good player, but yeah, watch out for that.
Look, I mean,
sabotage.
Like you said, this is game 5.
Yeah.
It's the GNK. Was this during the day or was it after work?
No, okay. It was during the day. This is just an artifact of me having to watch these videos very, very closely for graphical annotation. So anybody
it's
who
the only reason that stuff gets caught. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moshing for free, obviously for free, but Ghost Tongue would make it discount even if it costs money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now it's -1.
That's a good bounce back card. Yeah. Do you gain a credit by playing it?
I'm pretty sure you can't.
I know.
Okay, good.
But on 4 credits here, that's enough to play a sure gamble with the Ghost Tongue. So
That's true. We have a Marrow, an Overclock, and I think a Raindrops in hand on the runner side.
Yeah, hard to tell.
Marrow and Overclock I'm sure of. I don't know about the Raindrops. Yeah,
There's the
that's
Raindrops.
Yep. Okay.
So how do you get out of this situation, Sonny?
I don't know. So the big thing is there are 2 of the core damage focused breakers whose name I always want to call it Bergamo, but that's okay. There we go.
Yeah,
Bergamo is like a thing in Earl Grey tea, I think.
Bergamot is going to save the day. Although it's Bergamot just is it's a fractor, right? So I don't know.
That's true. Not super helpful.
You want to find?
I always think that's an AI for some reason.
A botulus. I'm sorry, a buzzsaw or a cleaver. I'm not sure. Not cleaver. Bergamot's the fractor.
You want your killer.
What is the killer in these kinds of decks?
Maybe like a Carmen or something like that.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. You probably import it, I would think.
Yeah. Oh, it could be a Noom.
True.
Okay, there's another saxophone playing creature.
Look,
jazzy.
once you see it as a saxophone, you cannot unsee it.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I forcing some reses here. Maybe going to trash the Lacosta.
I feel like you need to, but so if that outermost card is a Nancy,
who cares?
Well,
you lose some cards.
That's true. It forces a bunch of money expenditure, makes it easier to get in next time. Like, yeah. No, I think that's correct.
There's the buzzsaw.
Do you have the money to trash it? What's Lacosta trash? Is it 3?
3, I believe.
Okay. Okay, so he could get in and trash it, but clicking for credit? Eesh.
You feel like you want to draw a card there to maybe find something. It's 4 to Lacosta's 4 to trash.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one. And then trashing the Overclock. I mean,
like you don't need to trash it there, but I feel like just finding out what you're dealing with the ice or trying to get that buzzsaw down because you know that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if a code gate is going to be the thing that stops you. Thimble rig,
surprised. Sure, but I think the Tattoo Bola is like the thing you would more expect to see. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that comes stapled to Teia because of its ability to trigger off turn.
All right, no Teia trigger.
Have to assume that's an agenda.
It's interesting to me that we've known that there's been a Mervirus sitting in that first server the entire game. Kevin's been very patient with this Botulus, all these runs on R&D. You could, make them face blend into whatever that is.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I always think of Mervirus as a gotcha card rather than something that you can proactively res and use, but no, you certainly can.
Right.
And in those cases where someone is relying on the Botulus or the Amakua.
Right. So you sort of have to assume that ice underneath the Botulus is either something very expensive or something that doesn't really give a valuable face check.
Yeah.
Like if it is a Tattoo Bola, it basically can't be that, I think, because that would be very useful for Kevin to have rezzed and trashed the Botulus and put something else there.
Right. Yeah. And he's just let Sonny check the top of R&D too many times for that to make sense. So click to draw, running R&D. Once again, checking this ice that, okay, a Nancy.
And there we go. We see the virus res. Yeah.
All right. So
Face
cards in
checking.
hand.
4.
Five? Might be 5.
It looked like 4 to me. So Kevin is going to get to fire these subroutines, looking at the top 5 cards of R&D and arranging them in any order.
Is that the first ice we've seen rezzed? It is.
Yeah. There are four cards in Sonny's hand right now. So Sonny will survive this and can pay 2 credits to draw a card here. And Sonny's going to do that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Drawing into an overclock. Do a single net damage, and then after passing the Anansi, since not all 3 were broken, you're going to do 3 more net damage. So Kevin's going to say, you can keep that card, and there goes Raindrops, Botulus, Raindrops, Buzzsaw. Second copy of Buzzsaw.
Which, again, I don't know how broken up you are about that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know that code gates are the thing that you're super worried about.
Okay,
Hedge
Kevin
fund
is on
top?
4 hedge fund, 4 credits now. Okay, playing another Marrow.
Over-installing the Marrow, yep.
This is going to be a problem for Sonny because Sonny has no cards in hand right now. That was the last card in hand. So the Marrow would kill him. The core damage would kill him. And he realizes that.
So draw first, yeah.
Yeah. And also Sonny shortchanged himself a credit just then because he took back a single credit. Instead of the 2 that he paid.
But is that going to be meaningful? I mean, I'm kind of expecting that whatever this is off the La Costa, it can get scored. But with only 4 credits, can it be defended?
Yeah. Go check it. Go try and check. Just drawing a card.
Nope, just drawing into nothing, and then that's going to be the game, I think.
And that's the game, yeah.
Yep.
And 1 credit left. Yeah, so I
think you have to force the reses on the remote there.
I think we might see the ice. Kevin, I think Kevin's basically saying the same thing. You could have gone and forced me to res this. There's the Thimble Rig, and then
that would have at the least prevented the score out that turn and given you another turn to rebuild. And then you're into a whole nother thing. Maybe some stuff gets dumped into R&D. I mean, you know that they're running 4 3s. So if you can find another one of those vulnerability audits in your various sabotages, there are outs there. Yeah.
Brawn. So I feel like the Tattoo Bullet probably gets swapped with the Brawn, and then you are spending 3 clicks or
brutal.
Or the Bonhar, and you probably can't get through. So I think that was sort of it anyway, but it was a fun game to watch between these 2 players. I think that's a cool matchup.
For sure.
I like that. Essa is always a lot of fun.
Man, La Costa Grid, when it just stays uncontested.
Yeah.
Strong stuff.
It's very good in this deck, especially when you can put something else in while building out that remote, making it harder and dumping an agenda on. So
yeah,
it's a good play pattern. It's really fun. Okay. Well, that's game 5 of this GNK. We will be back soon with the final game from this GNK and button it up. Only
4 months?
4 months late.
4 months late?
Something like that.
It's fine.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video, you glamorous human being. I'd like to invite you to leave a comment on this video, maybe to tell us about lines of play we might have missed in our commentary, or to let us know what you thought of the match, or just to say hi. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel also goes a long way to helping us reach more people, so please do that. We owe a big thank you to our patrons whose names you're seeing right now on screen. If you also want to support the creation of future videos and also get access to a private Discord channel where you can submit deck lists for our live stream plays, head over to patreon.com/neonstatic. Thanks again, and remember to always run with your eyes closed because what you can't see can't hurt you.